You're now live streaming. Let me know. Go on to the live stream and tell me if I have a shit mic. Let me know ASAP. This is devices audio. I think I only got one audio option. Is that working? Is that working? Hello. Testing. Don't hear anything. Why don't I hear anything on my volume? Oh, we have someone. Thank you. Mic is all good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, we will be back in 30 minutes, guys.
Hanging by a thread, hung upon all the words you said, breaking free from this conformity that you force on me. Everything I do is one big show. It's about damn time that I take control. Put me under a microscope and watch me take control. What's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. And and dear God, save my soul 'cause it is flawed. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. And don't tell me.
Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is CryptoSomniac, here to bring you guys everything crypto related where the rich never sleep. What I want to talk to y'all today about is the SEC regulations that were sort of imposed, I guess, yesterday. Cover the market update, talk about the hard fork coming up, and answer some of your guys' questions primarily. So let me just set up my screen here. I have a bunch of tabs saved that I want to pull over from my other screen. And let me move you guys to my other monitor. And while I do that, can you guys just shout out what your favorite coin, cryptocurrency is at the moment? I'm curious to see what you guys are invested in. Just type that in the chat. move that over here. We're going to be talking about the Bitcoin e-exchange in a little bit. I got some stuff pulled up here. If you have not given this video a thumbs up, go ahead and do that. What that does is lets the community know that this was worth watching. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, please, and shout out your favorite coin. NEO. NEO is a great coin. I like NEO a lot. NEO just finished their rebranding a couple days ago. It is now official. Their website, I believe, is being pointed or redirected to neo.org if you try to go to antshares.org. They have their Twitter changed. I haven't looked at everything, but they appear to be completely done being rebranded at this point. And let's get started. So just if you have questions during the video, Stratis, I like Stratis too. I just recently bought some Stratis yesterday, believe it or not. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ask away if you have any questions about the upcoming split or anything related. I'm here to answer a lot of your guys' questions today. Gonna go over some stuff that happened yesterday in the past few days. And I guess I'll start since someone already mentioned it and I already have it pulled up here. But BTC-E, one of the largest Bitcoin exchanges, which you can see if you go to, let me just pull up an extra tab here and go to the CoinMarketCap. And if we come to Bitcoin, you can sort the markets right here by volume. Bitfinex and Poloniex leading the way. And then down here, I'm not sure if BTC-E dropped due to it's being shut down recently, but it is one of the major exchanges here in the US. And recently, one of the founders or CEOs was recently connected with potentially a scandal. Basically, he shares a name with the individual arrested in Greece named Alexander Vinnik, who authorities allege laundered over $4 billion in cash through a Bitcoin platform since 2011. So the platform has gone offline in lieu of this evidence, and it is, like I said, one of the larger exchanges. I don't know if this has affected Bitcoin's price at all. I think Bitcoin's price has fallen a little bit due to the fork, which I also want to talk about, but just some news to keep an eye on. This is one of the reasons why you want to keep your wallet or keep your Bitcoins in hardware wallets, cold storage wallets, paper wallets. I cover how to create a paper wallet if you haven't already in some of my previous videos. I have a whole video that shows you it takes 5 minutes, all of 5 minutes, to set up a paper wallet. If you haven't done so already, highly suggest before August 1st that you transfer your Bitcoin to one of them. I also highly recommend the Nano Ledger S as a hardware wallet. I'm trying to look for mine. I was just on it not too long ago. I don't know where I placed it, but I have a link for one below. I would highly recommend one of them. What that does is it stores your private keys on the ledger. So you are the only one that has access to your private keys, and no one can access your money. You don't leave your money in the hands of exchanges. So very important to protect your money. We have the fork on August 1st coming up. The fork is seems all but inevitable. And a lot of people have been asking, how do we know if it forks? You can go to Bitcoin Fork Monitor, and this detects whether or not a chain split has occurred. You can come here August 1st, prior to August 1st, after August 1st, and if you want to know whether or not we split immediately, then come to this website and you'll be able to tell before anybody else does whether or not the chain has split. Also, if you want a chance for some free cryptocurrency, retweet this video or share it on Facebook. I have the Facebook group going. It's now open to anyone, whether or not you are a participant in the group. If you're not, join it below using the link in the profile. There is a lot of great information being shared in here, and for anybody who reshares this or retweets the video here on Twitter will be eligible to win some free cryptocurrency next week on Sunday when I go over my weekly digest, basically the past week in review. You'll be eligible to win some free cryptocurrency. I'm giving away, I invested $20 into one of 3 coins earlier this week, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, or Ethereum. At the end of the week, I'm going to give one of you guys that reshared or retweeted this all the profits that I earned plus that $20. So go ahead and do that if you haven't. I am getting ready to move to LA tomorrow. I received an opportunity to get closer to the cryptocurrency market out there, and things have been going very well the past few weeks, and I am getting ready to move. I'll be doing some live videos as I drive across the country. I'll be bringing my car, and I'll be available as always to answer questions, if not more available, since I won't be able to put out videos as I've been recently and be more live and up to date. Let's talk about the market and its current price. So let's go back, and we are sitting at 2,500. Let's go out to the main page. 2,500. We're up a little bit. We've been bouncing around. How did I get that job? I was approached by some people on YouTube. I have been successfully growing the channel the past few weeks. It's been going well. I only started about 3-4 weeks ago, and I seem to be getting a lot of support, so I thank you guys first and foremost. Thank you. I'm excited to get out there. I cannot wait. Talking about Bitcoin. So everybody wants to know what's happening with the price of Bitcoin. I would hold on at this point. Hold on to your money. We have, let's bring this out or in a little more. We have pulled back. We had the news of the fork, or SegWit rather, locking in, and we saw the big price increase over this week span here, and then we kind of pulled back because of this fork here, and we're sitting in the middle. Do you mind sharing what your job entails? My job is to basically keep everyone educated in the crypto space. I'm a bit of an entrepreneur. It will be great there. Thank you. I share lots of information. I teach courses. I had an opportunity to partner with another entrepreneur out on the West Coast to help grow what I've started here so far and help educate you guys. I currently sell a course on Udemy on how to get invested in cryptocurrency. Will it be 2013-14 playbook? Will it be or different? I'm not sure what you mean by 2013-2014 playbook. Can you can you clarify that for me? I'm not sure. Anyway, I think the crypto market or Bitcoin and everything seems to be tied to Bitcoin still at this point. A lot of the altcoins are sort of go with the way Bitcoin does, because Bitcoin is still the first to market. It's the one that everybody knows about. And to get to all the other altcoins, you have to invest in Bitcoin. And I think you're going to see a little bit of bouncing around until August 1st. I think it's actually a great time to buy. What I want to actually do is cover a little bit of some chart analysis for you guys. Will it be 2014 playbook? So you mean the price increase we saw back then, and do you think it'll be similar now? Is that what you mean? Also, just for anyone who's tuning in here late, feel free to ask questions. I'm here primarily for you today, going over some of the things that happened in the news the past few days. What I'm going to go over next is just some basic chart analysis, because I know a lot of people have been requesting that. And I'll show you. This is the site I like to use the most, Coinigy. It's free. Yes, it might repeat. So I think we are in a new era of cryptocurrency. The market cap has really exploded comparatively, a lot more, I think, than, well, similarly to it did back then, but on a larger scale. Let's take a look at the market cap and go back in time for a minute. So this is the spike that Bernd is referring to in the live chat right now. We saw this big increase of market cap from about 1 bill to 10 bill, and we see a similar trend here now. But I think it's a lot different. Back then we only had Bitcoin. None of these other coins existed. We have Ethereum, which is smart contract based. It is totally different than what Bitcoin is. And we have all these new coins, or assets rather. I hate to call them coins because they're really cool projects in technology. And they do things that Bitcoin can't. Not to say that Bitcoin's bad or anything. Bitcoin is a very specific market, and it aims to function as a currency, while there are many other applications and platforms. For example, I'm using the Brave web browser, one of the few I think cryptocurrencies out there that have actually a usable application that you can use now, the BAT token. You can see I'm in the Brave browser. It's something that I like. I think we're in a new age. I think we are I don't think we're different than it is back in 2013, 2014. I think people are starting to realize the power of decentralization and multiple applications, not just currency. There's many use cases for it, and I think it's a great opportunity to get in now while it's still early. We're only at 0.1% cryptocurrency adoption across the world from 22 March this year. Now, a lot of the reason we had some popularity back then was due to Metropolis being rumored in Ethereum, and really Ethereum coming into the spotlight, Microsoft partnering with it. We had a bunch of ICOs around this time that were being launched off the Ethereum network, so a lot of people were investing in cryptocurrency to get to some of these ICOs. I think we are going through something different again here. I think we will test the all-time highs of 35 or 3,300 or 3,200 or whatever they were back a month or so ago. Right here, Goldman Sachs thinks we can reach 3,600 soon, reach a new high, which I agree with. I think this August we will not only reach the market cap, we hit some resistance here. I'm going to pull this graph in, and we hit around 115 market cap, and we bounced off this resistance line a couple of times, and then we got sort of the ICO hype kind of ended, and we saw Ethereum network being clogged down. We got news of the fork somewhere in here that it might be happening, and a lot of people started to pull out of the market. And you know, investors and big banks and corps can't afford to invest large amounts of money when we have things like a split coming up. You know, there's uncertainty there, and it's warranted. It's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I think we're basically trying to solve a scaling issue that Bitcoin has, and able to confirm the number of transactions that take place a day. And I think it's actually a good thing that's taking place. So I think this is a great opportunity to buy. I think we'll bounce around a couple times, and if you're a day trader, you have some opportunities to make money. I'm going to go over how to read some charts a little bit. Could you give detailed difference between the coin and token? I'm not able to rock my mind. I have a similar question in Facebook too. Let me try to pull up your question. If you could just repost your question in the Facebook group, and let me see if I can find it. So let me explain. How do you make profits using tokens? Let me know if this is the question that you are referring to. The coins and tokens are basically synonymous for each other. The difference between a coin and a token, they're basically synonymous. I know you asked here that if, for example, one Ethereum were to go up and it went up in the same proportionality that Golem went up, you wouldn't be making any money. I'll try to just let me know if that's what you're referring to, and we'll cover that. So basically, Ethereum can be traded against fiat right now. You can't buy Golem using fiat, right? You have to buy Ethereum first and then trade it into Golem. So, be quiet. Sorry, I have my dogs barking in the background. So if you bought Golem with Ethereum, and Ethereum went up in relation to fiat, the US dollar or the euro or whatever country or currency that you use in your country, and Golem went up proportionally with Ethereum, you would have to convert your Golem back into Ethereum. But since Ethereum rose in relation to fiat, your Golem also increased in relation to fiat, even if it stayed in the same, increased with the same proportionality that Ethereum did. So if you bought, say, we'll just use one as a whole round number. Say you bought one Ethereum and you converted it all to Golem. Golem's being traded right now for, let's take a look, about 24 cents. So one Ethereum would net you about, you would get 4 Golems for every 0.01 Ethereum. So 4 times 100 is 400. So you would get roughly 400 Golem for 1 Ethereum. Now, if Ethereum rose in price to, say, I'm sorry, so if Ethereum rose to say $400 and Golem kept that proportionality and went up to 50 cents, then when you sold it back to Ethereum, you would still only have one Ethereum in your pocket. But since Ethereum rose to $400 and didn't stay at 200, when you go to cash out your one Ethereum, you're going to have $400. So even though you invested in Golem and it went up just as much as Ethereum did, you still made money, you know, because Ethereum went up in relation to the dollar. So I hope that makes sense. What I want to cover now is some basic charting tools. Also, if you guys have got here late, just reshare this video or retweet it. I have it posted on Twitter and Facebook. The links are below in the YouTube description. What you'll do is you'll get a chance to win some free cryptocurrency on Sunday. I gave out, or I invested $20 into Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, or Bitcoin. I haven't revealed which one I invested in, and on Sunday I'll be revealing which one and give one of you guys the $20 that I invested in plus any profits that I made on that crypto during the week. So if you want to be eligible for that, just reshare that on Facebook or Twitter. So let's talk about Coinigy. So Coinigy is a platform I like to use for analyzing charts. It is free for the first 30 days and $10 a month afterwards. I would highly recommend it. And I'm just going to show you some basic tools that you can use for chart analysis. So I pulled this back to about the past few weeks. And like I said, we're going to keep bouncing around in this range. And if you're a day trader, you have some opportunity to take profits. If you were to sell right now, I think we're on the way back down. And I'm going to show you how we can identify just that. So one of the indicators I like to use, if you come up here and select this button and you type in the relative strength index. This is one way to tell if something is overbought or oversold. So if you see in this line, it goes from 70 to 30, and if you want, let's we can make these lines even a little bit tighter. Let's take them up to 80 and 20. So what this does, it tells us how much Bitcoin or anything on this far side here is oversold or overbought. And I'm sorry, I had this Bitcoin chart pulled up already. If I were to bring it up from scratch, you could type in Bitcoin to USD and you get a chart of Bitcoin against the dollar right now. And as you can see, this graph, when it gets to the top here or above 80, it indicates that it's oversold. And then we see a big drop in price. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I think I have this all messed up. This is oversold, this is overbought. I hope I didn't confuse anybody there. Over here we are overbought, and you can see price decreased after that. And over here we are oversold, and we see a little bit of a price increase here. Now, I don't want this to be the end-all be-all. There's many indicators you can use to read a chart, but this is just one of them. And we'll go back in time and just look. So over here, we got close to breaking that mark, indicating it was overbought, and then we saw a decrease in price. Same thing over here, a big decrease in price. And if we look at the opposite, we see here, down here at the bottom, oversold, and then we see an increase in price. Down here, we sort of bounce around a lot. Now, here's a good example of one where it may not have worked out in your favor. This indicates that it might be overbought at the moment, but price continued to increase. So what I like to use is a number of different tools and metrics when looking for a good time to buy in. You don't want to stick to just one. There's a lot of ways you can analyze charts, but RSI, Relative Strength Index, is a really easy tool to use to tell whether or not something's overbought or oversold at the moment. And I am going over that in more detail, yes, in my Udemy course. Right now you can get it for just $10. It is available using the description below. What I cover in that course is really everything that you need to know to get started in crypto, how to protect your money. I show you how to enable things such as two-factor authentication, how to create paper wallets offline. It's all over-the-shoulder tutorial driven, where I'm in the corner like now and I show you my desktop and I walk you through things. I show you how to research coins and get invested in ICOs. And yes, I cover each of these basically. These indicators that I'm using, I make whole videos dedicated just on how to use these indexes and indicators. I'm going to show you another one right now. I just wanted to cover briefly for you guys on air some of these tools that I use. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to shout them out in the chat below. I'm here to answer a lot of your guys' questions today. Also, I'm curious. I was asked by a couple people if I could spare some one-on-one time with them. If I had the opportunity to schedule some one-on-one time courses with you guys, the Nanner Ledger. I must have said Nanner Ledger or something the other day by accident. Maybe I was speaking fast because I saw that on the on one of your comments. Sometimes I speak a little fast. That's probably what you meant. But if I had time to schedule some one-on-one meetings with you guys, would anyone be interested? If you are, just shout out what country you're from. And I'm curious because I had some people asking me if I could help them set up a paper wallet during the these next few days and weeks, and I'm just curious to see how much, I guess, interest there would be in that, because I could certainly set aside some time each day to help you guys out if you have questions that are specific. And like I said, I can share my screen on Skype and show you guys everything that you need to know. I could show you how to research coins and charts in a one-on-one basis if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I could show you how to create paper wallets, anything that you need to know. And what I would do is I'd actually give you a money-back guarantee. So if you weren't satisfied after the 30 or 40 minutes or hour that we sit down and meet, I would refund you your money. So if that's something that's interested, just shout out what country you're from. I'm curious also to see who's in the chat here. There is specific reasons why tokens are not exchanges for fiat currency. So it takes time to get them implemented. It takes coding and background on a website, and these websites really only carry the big ones. So let's face it. Let's look at the coin market cap. There are hundreds of currencies now. Back in the day when I started, there was only Bitcoin. We have so many. Now, how are we supposed to know which of these are legit and which ones aren't? I could go online right now and create a white paper and a crowdfund and ask you guys to invest in it. That doesn't mean anything, I don't know any programming. I know how Bitcoin works and how these coins work and the technicality behind it, but I don't understand on a programming level how to actually make my own coin. I could say I'm going to do this, and I could say I'm going to create smart contract this and smart contract that, but that doesn't really mean anything. So why should an exchange pick up a coin and allow people to trade fiat for that altcoin? So they carry the big ones. That's why Coinbase carries these major three, and I think major four almost. I think they're working on Ripple now. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin they carry. And same thing with Poloniex. Poloniex doesn't have everything that Bittrex has. If you want to see something that they don't have, you got to go over to Bittrex. Random question, Sam, but comparing the ratio of circulating / total supply of Ethereum with NEO, does it look like there's a possibility it could reach the price of Ethereum in the future? Let's look at that. Let's take a look. Ethereum is at a market cap of 20 mil, and they have a circulating supply of 94 million Ethereum. Now, that is, what's the right word? It is susceptible to inflation. So it isn't a hard cap limit like Bitcoin. Bitcoin can only ever go up to 21 million. Ethereum could change, and that certainly affects the market cap and price. And if we compare that down here with AntShares, I forgot, we are NEO now. NEO is at 50 mil. And I believe, now don't quote me this, I'm almost positive that they are releasing the other 50 million quite soon. I think they have a hard cap of 100 mil, or maybe it was 50 mil total. Maybe that is it. I believe they have a hard cap limit. They can't rise due to inflation like Ethereum can. And just comparing this market cap right now to Ethereum, it's about half of Ethereum's. 50 mil. And let's just say it's 100 mil for all intents and purposes to make this easier. We can see that a price of, well, the market cap's only 358. So if we had a market cap of the same that we have in Ethereum, 20 mil invested into Ethereum and 20 mil invested into NEO or AntShares. I keep calling it AntShares. In fact, it doesn't look like they changed the ticker. I think the ticker should change to NEO. They release them in a year, I believe. No. Maybe you're right. I do know they're supposed to be releasing, I think it is another 50 mil to make this 100 mil locked in set. Correct. Someone said correct. I don't know if you meant correct by the 50 mil that they're releasing, but Correct. Yeah, yeah, 100 mil. Thank you. Sorry. So yeah, that then for all intents and purposes, we'll just say that this can get to the same market cap that Ethereum can, and it'll never change. Ethereum could actually go up. That's right. 50 mil will be held in reserve for bounties and other strategic investments to be distributed after 1 year at a maximum rate of 15 mil a year. So I totally think if you reach the same market cap that we have in Ethereum, which I think is totally possible. I actually think NEO is better. I went over some of the reasons why in a video previous to this. They're very similar, but the market cap, if you reach the same market cap that Ethereum has, because it's got half the circulating supply, you would have the same price. I'm sorry, you'd have double the price that Ethereum is if you were to reach the same market cap. And I think this is totally possible to reach in time. They have some work that they need to do. They don't have any ICOs launched on it yet, but I think they have a lot of great plans in their white paper. Claims to do a lot of things. I went over a whole lot of stuff in the China video I made, and I think China and Asia in general have a system of their own. They sort of create, it's interesting to see, I've traveled around the world a lot, and they have their own apps and companies for everything. You know, they don't let you use Facebook. They like to monitor everything. They have their own version of everything. They have their own Facebook, their own WhatsApp. I forget the names of what they use, but they implement their own things over there. So I don't know that Ethereum will break into their market. So they created NEO or AntShares, and China has like a 1 billion population. China population. They have 1/7 of the world's population. They can do some damage. So I expect good things. Let me read some of these questions here. Bitquence. I don't know if that's Bitquence or Bitsequence. Is market cap is and now it's 2.6 million. Let's take a look real fast. Let's open up cryptocurrency. I'm not sure if you meant Bitquence or Bitsequence. It is Bitquence. I'll be honest, I have never heard of Bitquence. I like to stay inside of the top 50 in market caps. This is relatively low. I like to generally entertain things at 5 or 20 million, so I don't know a whole lot about this. You said their market cap dropped dramatically. Right now it's at 3 point, and now it's at, right now I see it at 3.1. You said 2.6. The market cap drop probably here this is probably directly tied to Bitcoin. Well, not directly tied, but a lot of the market in these altcoins follow what Bitcoin does, and Bitcoin has been going down due to the potential hard fork coming up. So this is likely due to that. 5 mil lost. You know, it looks like you said it was up at 3.6 down to it looks like it was all the way up at 4 and down to 3.1. That's reasonable that it would drop 1 mil, sorry, in market cap, because you know Bitcoin's doing the same thing. So that probably is your reason why. I know you invested in NEO, and so do I, but I have my doubts with their PR and marketing. Which smart contract do you think will win this three-way battle? Well, it's interesting because, like I said, NEO I think is very specific to China. I do agree with you a little bit with their PR and marketing. So one thing that I'm not happy with is if you go to neo.org, they did redirect the site and point it to neo.org, but they didn't really rebrand the site. You know, it still looks like AntShares to me. It's still blue. So they could do a better job there. Hopefully, you know, they're working on some things. You know, they have the money to hire a better team. And I would like to see some of this changed. I think a lot of their stuff is like still in Chinese in places, and it's difficult to see it. I think as we see it being traded on more exchanges, you have a lot of potential. No, I don't think they pulled money out. The market just is in flux right now due to the fork. I'm going to go over shortly how to look at charts again in a second. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. I have some tabs here open on my other screen. Additionally, if you're not a Facebook group member, get in the group now. We have people asking to join all the time, and people posting here. We have new news all the time. Thanks for adding me. You are welcome, Petra. Thanks for joining. If you're not a member, join it. It's in the description below. Additionally, let's see. Let's go back to this chart now. So I'm going to show you how to do some fib retracement levels. In the Coinigy here, you can come to this chart here, and there's a bunch of tools in here. And I go over how to use them in more detail in my Udemy course online. You can get early access to it now for just $10. I go over everything you need to know in that course. but I'm going to show you how to use fib retracement real quick. And what fib retracement does, it allows you to analyze a peak or a spike in crypto or any cryptocurrency or really any chart. These are tools that it can be used across stocks and chart analysis as a whole. This isn't just specific to Bitcoin or one cryptocurrency in particular. But if you are to take analyze basically a big spike, you can select the bottom of it and then go to the top. And it breaks it down into these fib retracement levels, these ratios. And these were, I guess, figured out by mathematicians. I'm not sure how each ratio is you can look at the equation if you really want on how fib retracement was derived. But basically, you can look at these different retracement levels and see where areas of support and resistance are. One of the important levels is this 61.8 level. Usually a good time to buy back in on a coin is when you pass the 61.8 level on the downtrend. So as you can see here, we went from bottom to top, and a great time to buy is usually when you get into this level here, this blue zone right where we have the 618, and we are a bit above that right now. We're going to head back into it as we've hit it a couple of times. So buying anywhere in this zone, I think, is safe. And a chance to make some money back. And you can use this with any coin. Let's take a look at some of the others. Let's take a look at AntShares. It looks like they changed it now to NEO. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe it's still available on both. Let me see. Yeah, it's still available on both. Should be the same chart. Same chart. Let's take a look at that. So we had the AntShares, or NEO rather, have that big spike here back right prior to the announcement. And we could do a fib retracement on that. Let's do that. Let's go from the bottom. Oh, it looks like I clicked a point there. Let me delete that and start again. Up. Let's start from the bottom, and then we go all the way up to the top, right about there. And we can see a good time to buy in would have been right here in this blue region again. If you have any questions, guys, just holler and let me know. I'm happy to answer anything that you need to know. And thank you for your guys' interest in setting up some one-on-one meetings. I think what I'll do is I'll work on getting a platform built, and when I get to LA in a few days, I will certainly post a link on wherever I decide to post this. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions on a platform that I could use where you guys could suggest that would allow me to do that. I'll have to look into it. What I'll do is schedule some sessions with you guys, and on Skype, like I said, I'll be able to share my desktop and answer any questions you guys have in a one-on-one setting, and an opportunity for you to pick my brain and ask away. But this is how we use fib retracement. I go over how to use this in more detail. I go over 15-20 minute videos on how to use each of these indicators in my course over on Udemy. And it is, like I said, a great opportunity for you guys to learn. Let me see if I missed anything else. If you guys are appreciative and enjoyed this show today, this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. I have donation links in the links below. Anything is greatly appreciated. What I do is I invest anything I make in this course and on this channel back into the channel. What I'm working on is a lot of stuff for you guys in the works. I have a lot of cool ideas and things that I can bring to the table. This is a community and a way for us to all make money in the future. And I think it is still, like I said, very early. 0.1% of the world has adopted cryptocurrency, guys. 0.1, and it has been doubling every year. So 3 to 4 years we'll be at 1%. 3 to 4 years after that, 10%. And 3 to 4 years after that, this thing is going to be ubiquitous, like Facebook. It's going to be all over the globe. Not that it isn't already, but we're going to be, I was going to say famous, but we can be rich because the rich never sleep. And it's an opportunity. The crypto markets are operating 24 hours a day. This is where the money doesn't sleep. Additionally, you can consider becoming a Patreon or a patron of the channel. The link there is listed below as well. That's just a way for you guys to pledge some money to the channel and show your support. Anything's greatly appreciated. As I mentioned, it all goes back into helping you guys learn. I got a lot of ideas, and I'm always open. Write in the comments in the video below. Write your any topics, videos that you want me to make things on. That's where I kind of, I'm here for you guys. I'm here to answer your guys' questions. So let me look. Do you think the SEC rules? That's great. I had that listed on the side here, and I forgot to cover that. Yeah, absolutely, Sai. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I would gladly appreciate taking the time to go over some things one-on-one with you. But I think the SEC rules, let me pull up the article from yesterday that I had. SEC token, here it is right here, I believe. Yep, this is it. So the SEC yesterday ruled that initial coin offerings or token sales, the ICOs we've seen being launched off of the Ethereum platform, are not abiding, or at least not all of them, are abiding by the rules set by the SEC. The SEC is the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States. It is a company built to basically oversee stocks, options, bonds, all the things that the U.S. citizens can invest in. And they are saying that they seek to foster innovative and beneficial ways to raise capital while ensuring first and foremost that investors and our markets are protected. So a lot of these ICOs can do anything they want with your money. They can take them and run away with it. There aren't a lot of guidelines and rules laid out that can protect us. So I think the SEC is trying to protect us, but sometimes they dip their feet in and try to regulate everything a little too much. And at the end of the article, it says basically, in summary, in light of these facts and circumstances, the agency has decided not to bring any charges. So they're basically saying that this is illegal if you're not abiding by guidelines, and not just the companies and the ICOs, but also the participants. So even U.S. citizens that participated in ICOs that didn't necessarily follow these guidelines could be held liable for basically whatever you want to call it, charges or investment fraud, because you are, like I said, not abiding by what the SEC sees in their eyes as regulatory strategic sound investment practice, however you want to put it. And right now it serves, this notice is really just a warning at this point. They said that they did not file any charges, but this is basically a caution to the industry and market participants that federal security laws apply to those who offer and sell securities in the United States, regardless of whether they try to get around the terminology by calling them, decentralized tokens or virtual currencies. It doesn't really matter, even if they're distributed in certification form through distributed ledger technology. They don't really care. The SEC doesn't want to hear anything about it. I don't think it'll, I do think it will impact Ethereum a little bit in the short term. I think Ethereum has been struggling a little bit. I could sit here and talk for an hour on Ethereum right now. I think Ethereum is going down. I think we are not going to see Ethereum recover. Well, I mean, it's going to bounce around. I say recover in I think more long term with a lot of this stuff. I'm more of an investor. I do trade occasionally, daily and weekly, but I'm thinking about the long term. The next big thing on the map for Ethereum is Metropolis, which won't be coming till the end of the year. How often do you consult 4chan Financial? I do look at it. You definitely have to be very cautious on what you see on 4chan. It is not the most credible site. You can find sometimes interesting articles and things on there. You have to use it at your own risk, though. I like to get my news from a lot of places. I wouldn't say look at one YouTube or one article or use one chart analysis. I like to stack things on top of each other. I want to see a trend happening. I don't go off of one piece of news or one rumor. How is it investment, though, when technically we don't own the companies we buy tokens for? You're investing basically in, you're believing. When you buy a token or a coin in someone, you're buying into their belief and their tech, their innovative technology, and you think that what they do will bring more value to the table and it will make your holdings or stake in that company, basically, is essentially what it is. It's almost synonymous to holding stock in a company. You think that over time that will go up. So it's basically an investment when you purchase ICO tokens. I think we are near the floor because most of the news is all out there now. So I picked up Strat. You're right. I think this is a good time, but I think it should cash back out till 8 too. Now, I would not cash back out. I think this is a time the market could bounce back any day now. I think we're going to be in a hiccup until August 1st, but I don't see it going much lower. I don't see it much going lower. We have SegWit integrated. We know it's happening, and this is the time to buy in. When we have, buy the rumor, sell the news. Get in when you hear the rumor. Get in when things are sketchy. You want to buy low, sell high. This is basic economics here. We are low right now. You want to buy low and sell high. You want to get in now while there's controversy, and the best thing you can do is just stay on top of the news and inform yourself. It is a great time to buy now, and then after the fork, you're going to see a lot of big investors and banks coming back into the space. You'll see the market cap hit this 115 mark. I can almost guarantee it. In August, we will hit new all-time highs. I can almost guarantee it. Unless you guys have anything else, this is going to wrap it up. Yes, save a little bit maybe for after the dip. I honestly think we are approaching the end here. I think we are approaching the end. This is not going to go a whole lot lower. The fork's days away. I remember people bought in. When we saw the price rise up over here, SegWit was still days away from being locked in. People were buying in. It was caught off guard a little bit by the price escalation. EOS. I think EOS is interesting. Dan, I forget his last name. CEO of BitShares. BitShares is Daniel Larimer, is the CEO of BitShares, Steem, and he left both of those projects to work on EOS, being claimed as the Ethereum killer. Now, it is a long way from being developed. It is basically a little white paper and a lot of claims as to what it can do. I think it's great if it does what it can do. I think it's great if it does what it can do, but it is a long way from doing all that it said that it can do. What I like to do is invest in coins that have a little bit of history to them. I'm very selective on the ICOs that I invest in. Now, I know that this one's hyped up, and that's partly due to Dan's previous success, but, they don't have anything yet. They don't have anything yet. This is speculative. I'd be wary and cautious at this point. You got a whole year to invest in the ICO and read more about the project, so you have time to react. I personally have not invested in EOS yet. I think maybe I will. I just want to see more from the project. It's got a long ICO. We're talking a year here, and it just started, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that's how I feel about EOS. But thank you guys for joining. If you're not a subscriber of the channel, please go ahead, subscribe to that button. I do these videos every day for you guys. Reshare it on Twitter, on Facebook if you want to be eligible to win some free cryptocurrency this week. The course, you'll get access to my course if you want. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth between reading your guys' questions and going over my spiel here, but if you get access to the course, you'll also get access to my Telegram chat, and I believe I fixed that, guys. If anyone here is a part of that Telegram chat, let me know if that link works for you. We were having a little bit of trouble for newcomers of the course getting in. I think I fixed it. I think I addressed that. What the Telegram chat is, it's a way for me to stay in touch with you guys live on a daily basis, because it's not easy to get these videos out and rendered every day. I'm doing this live, so it's a bit more real time, but when I want to stay up to date with you guys, or you want to ask me questions, I have that there on my phone, and I can respond whenever, wherever, however. People who are on USA can't buy EOS tokens. Well, you can get around that using the Tor web browser. I have a video going on just how to do that. Take a look at my past videos. I forget what it's called. I'll show you right here. Let's go back to my channel. Videos. And if we go to, where is it? EOS token distribution tutorial, how to get involved if you are a US citizen. Goes over all of it right there. The market is not going to crash August 1st. Get your money into paper wallets, hardware wallets, cold storage wallets. Get your free Bitcoin Cash. Free money. We're essentially free money. Look back at these videos if you want to get clarification on the fork. Sorry about yesterday's video, guys. It went down after I uploaded the live stream. I had copyrighted music in there. I removed it. It should be back up for you guys to view. I do apologize. That was my mistake. first time I had streamed music while watching or live streaming. So I do apologize. Monero is rising because I like Monero. Monero is my favorite cryptocurrency as far as privacy goes. You have a few. You have Monero, you have Zcash, you have Dash, even a little bit has some security features. But by far, Monero is the most secure, private, truly anonymous coin. I forgot, someone said something about Lisk. I like Lisk. I'm invested in Lisk. I think Lisk it's another smart contract based platform, and I like what it does. I like what it can do. It basically is an intermediary. It allows people to program, I believe it's C+ and Java. Quote me if I'm wrong. Instead of using Solidity as a means to get invested in, or to start subsequent blockchains or ICOs. Publishers or developers can use programming languages that are familiar with them, as opposed to the Solidity coding that seems to be a bit harder for a lot of programmers to read. There are not many Solidity programmers around, so great opportunity. If you do know Solidity, I'm sure there's a job out there for you somewhere. So I am moving to LA tomorrow. It was great talking to all of you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, let people know that this video was worth watching. It helps communities and the students know that it was educational. Twitter, Facebook, reshare this if you haven't. Join the Facebook group. If you want to consider becoming a Patreon of the channel or a patron, please do so. There's a link below to that. It's an opportunity for you to pledge money to the channel. I help grow this. It allows me to help grow this channel. I would love to do this full time if I could with you guys. Unfortunately, that isn't the easiest thing when you're not making, money to pay the bills. So thank you. I will talk to you guys. I'll be live streaming, or I may be live streaming tomorrow to answer more questions. Regardless, I will be talking to you guys as I travel in my travels the next week as I get out to LA. So it was great talking to you guys all, and stay a crypto-somniac where the rich never sleep. Thank you, and talk to you all soon.